Hello, my name is Courtney Hill, and this is my Library 210 class project tutorial on how to use an electronic academic journal database. So, today we're going to talk about how to use an electronic database that handles academic journal articles. The database we are going to look at is called Academic OneFile and is available through the Newport Public Library. All you need is a Newport Public Library card and internet access to use it. So what we will go over today. What is an academic journal article database, and is it the right resource for me? How to use the basic search, how to use the advanced search, and some general tips on how to broaden and narrow a topic. So what is an academic journal database? First, an academic journal is a journal or magazine that contains articles from the scientific and academic community. These have been reviewed by other scholars in the same field to ensure accuracy. This used to be in paper format. So, for example, you would subscribe to Super Chemist Monthly and every month receive a journal with the most recent research on chemistry. An online academic journal database would be a whole collection of those various journals that are accessible through the internet or computer. And it's generally not just one, but a whole collection of them that are all in one electronic database. So is this the right tool for your question? Well, sometimes it is and sometimes it isn't. So what an academic journal database is not good for are for basic questions, such as who is the oldest man in the world and how tall is the Empire State Building? They are also not good for introductory material, such as I want to learn basic psychology theory or basic math. The information in an academic journal database is simply too advanced for these kinds of questions. So what it is great for is for having a basic understanding of a field and you want to know more about it. For example, I know a lot about birds, do a lot of bird watching, and want to know about migratory patterns. Also, they're great because they're extremely accurate and there's a huge emphasis on meeting certain standards and procedures to ensure very accurate information. So let's look at the basic search. And in order to do the basic search, we're going to have a research question, and our research question is going to be about steelhead populations, just for an example. So you open up your web browser, and you go to the Newport, Oregon library page, and then you click on databases, and that's going to take you to a page that lists all of the databases the Newport Public Library offers. And they offer quite a few, some about genealogy, consumer reports, and health and legal information. But today we're only going to look at one, and that one's going to be Academic OneFile. So you click on that, and it's going to take you to the library login page. So you enter your name, your library card, and if you have a password, enter that in. If you don't, then just go ahead and come up with one, and that should sign you up and give you an online account with the library. So we hit enter, and this should take us to the Academic OneFile homepage. It's thinking a little bit. Okay, there we go. So here's the homepage, and it has a lot of information on here, top searches, so you can see what other people are looking at, some things to help you develop a research topic, and a lot of things. But right now we're going to focus here, and this is your main search bar, and it's going to be where you do a basic search. So you click on it like I just did, and then you enter in your search term. And you're going to see as I go through here, it tries to help me come up with terms. And sometimes some of them are pretty useful. And you, like for example, you could click on steelhead trout and it would take you there. Sometimes they aren't. But we're just going to go ahead and enter in our own term. So you enter it in, hit enter, and it's going to take you to a results page, which is going to list all of the academic journals that it pulled that should match your search term steelhead population. And you can see here it says that it's pulled up 221 articles, which is quite a few. If you look here, all of these red sentences are the titles of a different journal article. So let's look at one. Let's look at this one, even though it doesn't really have anything to do with what we were really looking for, but just for the sake of checking one out. Okay, so here's an article, and it has the title, the author, what publication it came from, and other material right there. And then it has the full text. So this is the journal article. You can sit here and you can just read it. And it's going to be looks like some policy issue on energy. You can also listen to it if you click on this. You can also save it for later. You can download it. You can email this. It'll not email you the whole article, just email you like a citation. You can print it. You can download it. You can save the MP3. So there's all sorts of things you can do to keep listening to this, to keep a hold of the article. So let's go back to the main search results page. And if you notice, you have this part up here that says full text, and over here it says full text. And that just means that the whole article is actually in here. And what does that mean? So for example, let's look at this one where it doesn't have full text up here, and let's click on it. So it's gonna load it. So again, you have the title and the publication information, but there's no article. You can't really read it. And what happens is if you actually want to get a hold of this article, you have to request it through an interlibrary loan, which is right here, which can be up to $3. So there are those different ones, and the full text ones will have the full text in it, and the ones that don't say full text will not have the whole article in there. So another thing we can look at is like 221 articles is a lot. Maybe we don't want to read 221 articles. So over here is you have some ways where you can limit. And you can limit it by, if you just want magazines, you can just click on that. If you just want books, you can limit it just by full text. So you can click that and all the articles will show up that you can read automatically on here, and you don't have to get through interlibrary loan. You can also do it by peer reviewed, which is just it's like kind of a good way to just doubly make sure that your information is accurate. And you can do it by publication dates and all sorts of things. But you can see that just by using those two, we limited the number of articles down to 136. So you can fiddle with that and figure out how that works. All right, so that's the basic search. So next, let's look at the advanced search. And in order to do the advanced search, it's good to know something about basic Boolean logic. Boolean logic was created by George Boole, who published some materials in a book in 1847. And it can get pretty complicated, but for our purposes, we're only going to worry about a small part. We're going to worry about and, or, and not, and what those can do. So what do they do? Well, let's just say we enter in steelhead and salmon, this is the Boolean logic for salmon. What that does is that looks not just for steelhead, but also salmon in the document or title. So it really limits your search. It's not just salmon, it's not just steelhead, it's looking for in each article it has to have steelhead and salmon. Or kind of broadens your topic, so it kind of does the opposite things. If you do steelhead or salmon, it doesn't care. It could have steelhead in there, it could have salmon in there, it could have both. It's going to look for all of them in any format, and they have to be together. And then for the final one, steelhead not salmon, that would just be looking for just steelhead, and you don't want anything to do with salmon. Maybe you don't like salmon or something. So let's play with those and hopefully give you a better idea of what I'm talking about. So we don't want that one to come up. So let's go up here and we're going to click advanced. This button right here is going to take us to the advanced search. And the advanced search page is going to have these boxes, and here are the Boolean logic operators. Don't worry about this, just keep it at keyword for now. So we're going to do steelhead and salmon. All right, and we can click full text documents, peer reviewed, and notice that what was here on the sidebar previously is now down here because the advanced search automatically gives you that option. So we have steelhead and salmon, and you notice that all these titles should have steelhead and salmon in some order. So here we have salmon, steelhead, not just salmon, not just steelhead, salmon and steelhead. So let's go back. And also we got like 42 articles, very few articles. Let's switch this to or. We're looking for steelhead or salmon. We're going to go from 42 articles to suddenly we're almost close to 3,000. It's quite a big jump. And if you notice here, salmon, no steelhead. And salmon, no steelhead. And there will probably be some in here that are steelhead, no salmon, and some that will be both. It's just going to run the gambit. Finally, steelhead, not salmon. And it should just pull up steelhead with nothing at all about salmon. So steelhead, nothing at all about salmon. Rainbow trout, but nothing at all about salmon. And steelhead, and nothing at all about salmon. It just looks for steelhead and does not include any salmon whatsoever. And that's just a different way to control your search topic, because sometimes you'll look for something and there's something really closely related to it that you don't want to research, and the not term helps a lot with that. Okay, so some tips on broadening or narrowing a topic, because sometimes you saw that we have 3,000 articles, and then sometimes you get no search results whatsoever because of certain things. So if you're broadening and narrowing a topic, maybe you get too many, maybe you get 3,000. So some ways you can whittle that down are facets. And facets are just a fancy way to talk about these limiters right here, and you can use these to narrow down your topic. Boolean logic, using and, using not, can help you limit your topic. You can also look at suggested terms, or there's a subject index in the database that you can look at that can kind of help you figure things out. Also, if you get like no search results or too few of them, you can try broadening your search. If you enter in the advanced search tiger and hunter and ocean and you get 0 results, maybe you need to take a step back and look for, well, maybe tiger and hunter is better. You can try the related article suggestion. And again, you can check out the subject index. So the related article suggestion, oh, we're running low on time here, is if I click on here and if I click on this, it's going to give me, usually it gives you a suggestion on articles that are similar to it. Here's related subjects. You can click on that and it'll give you related subjects that are related to this article, and also give you related resources. And let's go back home really quickly. Let's see if I can show you the subject index. Subject search guide. And this will just give you a lot of terms that are best used and can give you a chance to kind of look around. So for example, if I enter in steelhead, it's going to show me a lot of terms and a lot of related subjects to steelhead that we can look at. Okay, I think that's all that we have time for today. So just remember, you can always ask for help, and learning to develop a research topic at first can be tricky. It's never a one-direction process, but a cycle of asking better questions and seeing the information and asking new questions. So if you get stuck or confused at any time, please stop by the Newport Public Library and talk with us. Thank you and have a nice day.